I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati, Rick in Detroit. Convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry Davis from close range.
How old are you?
29.
And where are you originally from?
Brooklyn.
You got a lot of stories that kind of ride with the legend of World. Most of the ones that I've heard aren't so nice. They don't paint you as such a nice man.
Well, you know, that's just people trying to discredit me.
Yeah.
Because they know what's got to happen.
How do you make your money? Any money? By muscling people?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't muscle people. Music, you know, I used to dibble and dabble into certain things, but
block
music,
hugger.
No,
okay,
never a block hugger. But music.
And okay, somewhere in the middle of Funk's Twitter rant, Lil Kim found herself thrown into it when the DJ decided to bring up past beef between the two. Beef that, according to Kim, was already resolved as it happened nearly 2 decades ago. Now, according to Funk, Lil Kim's ex-fiance, Damion World Hardy, tried to come for him around the same time frame as Tupac's final days. And Flex says it was all because Kim put him up to it. He tweeted, "Lil Kim tried to put World on me too. I didn't forget." Kim wrote, "This is so funny to me because I'm the only one who was able to keep him off you, even though he felt he was in the right. But you were the big homie and he was my man. He did what he was supposed to do and I stand behind Brooklyn 100%.
Nah, Kim is a very good person.
How did you meet her?
Me and Kim was in first grade together. Went to school together. We would grow up together from kids.
Tell me about your brother. At one point, he was dating Kim. Tell me the story
My
of who.
brother.
It was your blood brother.
Yeah, my blood brother.
Was dating Kim.
Yeah.
Okay, I did have that story right.
You got it correct.
And he was killed?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
In 99.
How did it happen?
Yeah, shot.
You say that and toss your hand like it happens every day.
We all from the street. Like, it's not like we not new to something like that.
Yeah.
The streets swallowed him up. Allah called him back. That's the best way I could say that.
Is he your younger brother?
No, how many years?
Was he? You're the youngest. So I'm picturing in my mind that Kim comes to you for consoling and you fall in bed together?
Nah, that's not how it happened.
How did it happen? World is here, everybody.
Me and Kim, all good comes from Allah. Me and Kim, we seen each other, you know. Me and Kim we always had a thing for each other. So that was that. But I don't really want to
What was that stuff that was printed in the paper?
About what? With me and Loose Change?
Yes. What is loose change?
50 cents.
50 cents.
2 quarters.
I just want to be sure.
$2.
What was that printed in the paper? And I want to get into that. You went to
it was lies.
He was up there on Flex's show and he was doing a freestyle and said some disparaging things about your then girlfriend, Lil Kim.
Right.
I happened to hear that. I was on my way to a party and, heard it all go down. You were downstairs waiting for her to finish the interview, or you raced there as soon as you got a phone call? No, excuse me. He was upstairs freestyling. He said some disparaging things about Kim.
Mm-hmm.
You met 50 and his crew downstairs.
Right.
And
No.
Okay.
Hold up.
Tell me how it went down.
No. First of all, I don't know what happened with Duke that night.
Okay.
He, you know what he do. He's working with them people. So, they have people in high places. Mm. So, he was shook. I don't know what happened to him that night. Okay. But he threw my name all up in the mix. And it was him that did that. It was him that put my name all up in the mix.
And then there was a shooting going on in Jersey City at one of the hotels. Do you know anything about that shooting?
No. I mean, I don't play games.
Yeah.
I am not with the game plan.
How do you think about what people in the hood think about your reputation?
I'm loved in the hood.
But feared?
People fear. Everybody want to do wrong and live good. Everybody want to do bad and live good. I'm not into that.
Yo, we back. It's your ace Popalot. Mobb gang. We on our way to NYC with it. Headshot City. Brooklyn to be exact. Meet us in Bed-Stuy, LG, Lafayette Gardens if you're not hip. Now today we are going to be talking about one of the most infamous, one of the most notorious, and if I had to say so myself, I would say one of the most feared people to come out of the borough. And the person I'm talking about is going to be a guy by the name of Damon World Hardy. But you really can't talk about him without talking about his partner in crime or his co-D, eBay, or Aaron Granton. And we also have to mention his late brother, Myron Wise Hardy, who along with his brother, World, would go on to form the organization titled CMB, or Cash Money Brothers, a name that was actually the name of a drug dealing organization in a very popular movie at around the same time when authorities alleged that they set up this gang. And that movie being New Jack City, starring Wesley Snipes, Alan Payne, Mario Van Peebles, and Ice-T, which is a street classic. If y'all ain't see it, y'all go check that out. But the gangsters in this movie are going to be a lot more deadly than the gangsters that you might see in that movie. And according to the federal government, the CMB was pretty much an organization that was set up by Wise and World, like I said earlier, to take over everyday drug sales in the Lafayette Gardens projects in Brooklyn. They would go on to do just that and much more. Now, the authorities would say that the CMB wrestled and maintained control of Lafayette Gardens through the acts of violence that would include near daily gun battles with rival organizations. Based on my research, everything would get real crazy right in 1998 when they say that World would order one of the underlings from the CMB to kill a guy by the name of Michael Cologne because World had believed that Cologne disrespected him in some kind of altercation that they would have at a roller skating rink. Now, with all my research, I couldn't find any kind of penalty that he was handed associated with that crime. But the very next year, in 1999, while he was incarcerated, his brother and co-leader of the CMB gang that they had started would be shot and killed in Lafayette Gardens. Now, by the sounds of it, he was already in the streets and getting his hands dirty. But depending on who you ask, it would be the murder of his brother that would really turn him into a savage. Now, when the information about Wise's murder would get back to World, it would put him smack dab in the middle of a war with another drug dealer from Lafayette Gardens by the name of Ivory Peanut Harris. Not sure if he knew at the time or even cared when you listen to him or when you read about him, but the war with Ivory Peanut Harris will also put him in a war with one of Brooklyn's beloved sons and a world boxing champion. Now, according to the federal government, it would be Ivory Peanut Davis's nephew, Ramil Davis, that would shoot Myron Wise Hardy over a turf dispute in Lafayette Gardens. Now, it wouldn't be long after the death of World's brother Wise on June 15th, 1999, when the gang would hone in on their first target for retaliation for Wise's murder. And it would be a guy by the name of Gerard Kojak Mackins, who they had deemed responsible for supplying Ramel Davis with the gun used to kill Myron Wise Hardy. A guy by the name of Dwayne Myers would go on to open up on him point blank range in the vestibule of 456 Lafayette Street in Lafayette Gardens. It would be almost a year later on June 10th, 2000, where the hit that would get them the most kickback would take place. And that's where they would go on to target a guy by the name of Daryl Hamo-Bomb. Now, according to federal authorities, they're going to say Daryl Hamo-Bomb was targeted because of his close association with Ivory Peanut Davis. And that's when the gentleman that I mentioned earlier, Aaron Granton, or Eric Moore, or eBay would come into play, because according to federal authorities, he was the one that would go on to hit Hamo on the corner of Quincy Street and Marcy Avenue directly after fleeing to a getaway car. Now, it looks like the gang took the month of July off in the year of 2000, but they would strike again on August 1st in 2000 when authorities allege eBay, on the orders of World Hardy, would go on to hit a guy by the name of James J.R. Hamilton inside of a seafood restaurant that he had owned on 102 Saratoga Avenue in Brooklyn. And it would be 10 days after that slide, on August 10th, 2000, when they would catch up with their prize target, Ivory Peanut Davis. Now, according to information, they're going to say Ivory Davis was hit twice in the back as he sat in a parked car in the front of Club NV, a nightclub that was located on the corner of Spring Street and Hudson Street in Manhattan. Now, after being hit, Davis would speed away but lose control of his vehicle and end up hitting an innocent pedestrian who was actually a Swedish director, a guy by the name of Johan Kamitz, who would go on to die from his injuries after being struck by the Range Rover that was driven by Ivory Peanut Davis. Now, that summer of 2000 would make things hot for the gang because, according to the New York Post, after hearing about who was responsible for the death of his best friend, Daryl Mobb, they're going to say that Mike Tyson would go on to put a hit on Damon World Hardy for a 50-piece. And according to the Post, when word got back to Damon World Hardy about the contract that the champ had put on his head, he would go on to put his own $50,000 on the head of Iron Mike Tyson. So if he wasn't brazen, I don't know who was. Now, some people are going to say it's talk. Some people are going to say it's cap. While giving evidence at his trial at Brooklyn Federal Court, a guy by the name of Alan Boo Bryant and another gentleman by the name of Shelby Moo Henderson would say that they were against whacking Mike Tyson, even though he had that alleged $50,000 bounty on World's head. Now, Moo would go on to say that Mike Tyson was a Muslim and that they shouldn't kill a Muslim. World would go on to say that's not a reason not to hit him, also saying that he was a Muslim and that Tyson put money up on him, essentially saying that him being a Muslim didn't matter. Now, Alan Boo Bryant would continue testifying, saying that it didn't matter. If World would have called us, we would have did it. It would also be the New York Post that would go on to report that in 2005, after an on-air appearance, a member of 50 Cent's entourage would go on to shoot at a person that they named as Lil Kim's bodyguard, but who essentially was her lover, her fiance, Damon World Hardy, as he would rush to the studio after hearing 50 Cent saying disparaging things about Lil Kim on air during a Funkmaster Flex interview, leading me to tie in to the beef with Funkmaster Flex that World would have after Lil Kim explained the close relationship she had with Funkmaster Flex and him allowing 50 Cent to go on air and disrespect her. I'm sure World didn't take light to that. Essentially, like, Funkmaster Flex wasn't doing the shooting, but he let 50 Cent do the drive-by in his car. So World wanted to see about that. But it would be a year before that where the government would essentially say that the gang would commit their last slide, which would be the hit on Tyrone Bomb, the brother of Daryl Mobb, who the gang believed had been seeking to avenge the death of Hamo. They would end up catching up with him near a construction site in Brooklyn, essentially hitting him 3 times. So though small, this is going to be one of the most dangerous crews or groups to come out of Brooklyn, essentially started by the two brothers, Myron Wise Hardy and Damon World Hardy. Now, in 2015, the government would essentially go on to sentence and convict Damon World Hardy as well as Aaron eBay Granton to life for the reign of terror and the 6 murders that they associated with the Cash Money brothers. Now, I wanted to make sure I touched back on this piece. I did a small piece on this earlier. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Y'all hit the red subscribe right under this video so y'all know when we dropping this real trill spill. And y'all get in the comment box, man. Let me know where we need to go, what gangsters we missed, what stories we got wrong. And y'all know I'm going to be back with some more real trill spill ASAP. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb.